Hi guys, my name is Alex and the Meyer brothers have asked me to come on here and talk to you more about any advice about injuries and injury prevention. I'm a certified athletic trainer, which means I help evaluate, diagnose, and rehab athletes that have sustained an injury. Outside of my job, I've been a runner for more than 10 years now. I ran at Hilliard Bradley High School. From there, I continued my career collegiately at Otterbein University. After that, I got a job working as an athletic trainer at Pittsburgh State University, it's an NCAA Division II school in the MIAA conference. I worked with the men's and women's cross country and track and field team. I worked with very high caliber athletes at the NCAA Division II level, a lot of NCAA champs and All-Americans. Outside of that, I worked with a lot of track and field athletes that have competed and trained for the Olympic trials, USA champs, and even the European circuit. So I have quite a few questions to go over, so we'll just jump right in. So the first one was sent in by a camper, and it says that she gets injured a lot, specifically in the shins, knees, and hip area. Do I have any recommendation of stretches, any general intervention and advice? So for a lot of lower extremity injuries, like she stated, the shins, knees, hips, and everything, it's really good to look up the chain to see about any general weaknesses that you guys might have in your hips, actually, in the core, glutes, anything like that, mainly because we are single leg athletes. So that means when we're out running, that when we come down, when our foot makes contact with the ground, only one foot makes contact at one time. So it's a lot of energy going into one leg to support all of you. And to make sure that our body can handle that, both legs need to be really supportive. Both legs need to be really strong in the hips and glutes, hamstrings, and like that. Especially the core needs to be really, really strong. Also, stretching is very important before and after. Getting a really, really good dynamic warm-up before you run is really good. And then stretching and foam rolling after is really good too, especially if you have what I call hot spots. Maybe your shins are hurting a little bit more, or your hamstrings are a little sore after a run. Focusing on those areas a little bit more after your run is really good too. But for any more stretches and exercises, I actually have attached a packet, and it's on the website. And you can go on there and look at all exercise and stretches that I put on there. It's just very general preventative stuff that I think most runners should be doing 2-3 times a week to help prevent injuries. So the next question is, running hard hurts. How can I help tell an athlete the difference between the discomfort of hard training versus the onset of an injury? This is a pretty common question, and I think a lot of athletes go through this, not just runners. Any pain that comes up, they automatically think the worst. But I like to tell my athletes, if the pain just started, goes away in a day or two, doesn't affect your running form, anything like that, then we're going to be okay. If it's, both sides of your body, so you run a really hard track workout, the next day your calves are really sore and both calves are sore, it's pretty rare that you sustain an injury if both sides are sore. It's mainly just soreness at that point, especially if you hit the weight room and you're lifting really hard and the next couple days you're pretty sore. That's called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. It's just your body's way of breaking down that muscle and then building it up to be stronger. Nothing to worry about. Maybe just back down the training, a little intensity, just a little bit, but then that you're gonna be perfectly fine. Now, if that pain persists in one spot on one side of the body for more than 3 to 5 days, then it's time to talk to your coach, time to talk to someone like me, and we'll help figure out what's going on. Now I'm talking more of those overuse injuries you hear with runners: shin splints, general knee pain, front of the knee pain, hips, low back, stuff like that. And more of that now. It's an acute injury, so say you're running really fast on the track, or even your sprinter teammates are running and you pull a hamstring, that's definitely an injury that needs to take a couple days to rest up and go see our athletic trainer. But more of the overuse injuries, if it doesn't affect your running form, it's not getting worse throughout the day, worse throughout your run, and it only lasts a couple days, then we're going to be just fine. Okay, so the next question is, what preventative measures do I recommend for runners so that they don't get hurt and have to see an athletic trainer? So the first thing is check out that attached packet that I sent the Myers brothers. Being a very strong runner, having nice strong core, good strong hips, strong feet, everything like that, really going to help decrease your chance of getting an overuse injury. Outside of that, having proper running shoes is really, really important. Going to a store like Columbus Running Company and making sure you're getting fitted properly for the best running shoes for you also is going to help decrease your chance of injuries. But more other things that people might not think about. I mean, doing exercises and getting proper running shoes is kind of more of an obvious one. But some other things that I really preach to my athletes is sleep. Sleep is very, very important for the body. It's where you do your most recovering, your most healing after a hard workout, after a run. And for the age group for you guys, especially of all athletes, you guys need to be getting between 8 to 10 hours of sleep every single night. The best way to do that is going to bed and waking up at the exact same time every single day. I know it's kind of hard right now in quarantine and summer and no school right now, but setting a schedule does help. You get up at the same time every day, so it makes it easier getting up at that time, and you feel more refreshed is the best way. And then outside of that is eating. Eating's very, very important. Getting the proper nutrients in your body is so, so vital for your recovery. If you're not getting proper food in your body, all those good nutrients, you're not going to fuel your body. So the next day of training is going to be even harder, especially if you didn't sleep well the night before. Other than that, I think the biggest thing, especially that I've seen in my years as being an athletic trainer, is proper communication. Communication with your coach, with your parents, and an athletic trainer. Just anything that pops up, on that run, my ankle started hurting a little bit, make sure you let your coach know. If it hurts for more than a couple days, then come see me. Let your parents know that you're feeling something going on. So anything like that is really, really important. So just communicate, eat right, get a lot of sleep, do those exercises, and make sure you have really good, proper running shoes and you're switching them out every 300 to 500 miles. All right, so the fourth question is, after coming back from a big injury, what's my recommended return to training kind of look like? So it really depends on the injury that I'm looking at. If it's one of those overuse injuries that I talked about, it's kind of just easing back into it, running every other day, running low miles, building your miles back up once you kind of figure out what's going on. If it's a bone injury, so it's like a stress fracture, that's going to take, depending on the type of stress fracture it is, probably between 4 to 6 weeks of complete rest, no running. More than welcome to cross-train in the meantime. And then from there, it's a pretty strict regimen of a walk, jog type of thing. So I'll have my athletes for 10 total minutes. It's like day 1, 10 total minutes, and you're going to walk for like a minute and then jog for a minute and then walk for a minute and jog for a minute, just like that. And we do that every day to every other day, every 2 days, stuff like that. So just a gradual increase of running from a bone injury. Now, if it's a surgery, a lot of times the recommendation is coming down from your surgeon. So it depends on what kind of surgery it is. A lot of the times I'll be working alongside a physical therapist if you get surgery. So from there, once you get cleared to run after your surgery, you're going to need clearance and recommendation from your surgeon, your physical therapist, and myself as a certified athletic trainer. And from there, depending on the surgery, it's probably going to look very similar return to run type of regimen that a stress fracture would look like, just slowly building up the miles, slowly building up time running wise. And then if it's a muscular injury, say, you strained your hamstring or your calf, that just is going to take as much time as you need to, when you can walk normal without pain, and then we can start jogging without pain. And once you're pain-free jogging, it's more of just slowly increase the miles after that. Okay, so the fifth question is it helpful to add cross-training into your training and running as an injury prevention measure? Yes, 100% yes. You don't need to be the type of athlete that needs to run 7 days a week, year-round. Cross-training is an excellent way of still getting your training in without the hard impact of running has. So there's a few examples of it. Say you're just the type of athlete that is a little more injury prone, more aches and pains pop up a little more often than normal. Take 1 or 2 days out of the week where you could run and supplement that with cross training. So swimming, biking. There's even yoga could be a really good cross-training tool. Another tool that you can implement for the cross-training is something that I did in college. I was one of those injury-prone people, and I was training for the 10K, so it's 6.2 miles on the outdoor track, or 25 laps on the outdoor track. And you have to train a lot of miles, get your mileage up pretty high for that. But unfortunately, my body broke down at a certain point. So to supplement my training, I would cross-train quite a few times a week on top of running that day, just so I can increase my mileage without actually increasing my running mileage. So I'm still getting the cardiovascular benefit out of it without the hard impact of running. So any last second advice that I can give you guys, the biggest thing is just listen to your own body. I can take all my training and all my education and try to help you guys, but you know you the best. You know what's going to work for you. You know your body the best. So just be honest with yourself. If you think you need a day of rest or, something else, just listen to your body, talk to your coach, talk to your athletic trainer. It does help a lot. Alongside that, communication is huge. Communicate with your coaches, communicate with your parents and your athletic trainers. Never run through an injury. If you run through an injury, you're only going to make it worse, and you're going to be out a lot longer than you need to be if you were just honest and upfront about it beforehand. And if you do get hurt, just be patient. It is frustrating, it is, but have trust in your coach and the person that you're seeing to help get you better, that you will get better. It just takes time, so just have trust, and everything will be okay. If you guys have any other questions for me, the Myers brothers have my contact information. So if you want to ask me a question, just send them an email and they'll get the questions sent over to me. Thanks, guys.